Okay, enough with the floors. I just thought I'd throw that in there, but just know that I got the rest of the floors in the back, and then I've got the driver's side floor piece in because I did get 16 gauge. I got some 18 gauge, and I got another bottle of welding gas. So that's going to be kind of enough for the floors. I put my rust trap, actually. So it came in yesterday. I ordered 2 of these. So 45504. So there's different part numbers for this, but this one is the quart. Okay. So again, just off Amazon. So what we're doing today, besides the floors this morning, finishing those up in the back, both sides, is I'm cleaning up the frame in the front part while the cab's on it. I want to clean up the underside of the cab. I think I'm going to take these really bad fender wells out here. They're just some bolts along the inside here, which is no big deal, even if I have to cut them out, because I think Mike's coming over tomorrow, and I think he wants to put this, actually I do too, in here through the front. So he's pretty confident that we can get it in there through the front. So I need the motor in it so I can figure out the hump part, how much I can drop the firewall down, possibly get the radiator set in there. So basically this front, so from this horn, I don't know, you can't really see me. Okay, hold on. Because of the sun, let's move you over here. There we go. So basically from here forward on both sides, I'm not going to coat because I think that's right there is where my radiator is going to sit, is right here. So it'd be easier to not have to weld, grind it off, not have to weld a bracket on there. So if I just leave it, I don't know, we'll see. As far as the steering goes, I'm kind of looking at power rack and steering versus this guy, because I really need the steering more up like that. And I've been seeing a lot of guys with these S10s that they make a manual rack and steering for this. So all this gets taken off. You weld some brackets on there, and that welds on, and you know the tie rod ends come out. But and then they make a universal one that can mount in here somewhere. So I'm kind of on the fence on what I'm going to do with this with the steering still. But that will be later. So right now, all I'm doing is I'm just going to clean up all up underneath here. We'll have you ride along. And yeah, so that's what we're going to do. So now I'm going to be up in there doing all this little grinding stuff. Definitely wear a mask, because this stuff gets everywhere and you don't really want to breathe it in, right? Actually, I'm looking for my mask. So yeah, so hold on and then we'll be right back. Found my mask, and this is what I'm going to use just to get up in there. Various little bits and bobs that go on this. So let's do this. Okay, so as you can see, I got a 3-inch spacer on here. This spacer was just to see, I'm trying to figure out wheel combinations or whatever, so that was just sitting in there just to see how far the 3 inches would bring it out. But now that I got this fender thing out, it gives me more access to everything, especially without the tire. So I'm going to clean all this up right here. I'm probably going to weld a piece to weld this back together. I'm thinking that, I don't know for sure, but maybe it's supposed to go like that. But what I am going to do is clean it up. And that's where I welded in the floor into the old metal crap that was there. Yep, I got to take that out. That's just the old bolt. Let me get that off. Let me move you back here. So generally I'm a Harbor Freight kind of flap attack disc guy. But since I was ordering the rust trap, I ordered some of the panel bond. So I decided to try some of these benchmark abrasives. This is 40 grit. I don't know, we'll see how this whirls. I'm either a Harbor Freight kind of guy, or sometimes this one's from Home Depot. It actually has like a rounded edge. But I'm gonna give this one a whirl and see how it goes. I want to clean all this up right here, get all that nice. I got some metal I got to replace right here. No big deal. That's going to be really easy actually. And then I got another piece down here. You've noticed I haven't taken off the fenders yet. It would really make life a lot easier if I did. But let me clean all this stuff up here and then we'll go. So for this piece right here, I just got to join those two together. But it looks like I'm just going to use 18 gauge. Yeah, so I'm going to use 18 gauge. I'm going to kind of do one of these little deals here. I'm going to straighten out that edge right here. And then probably what I'll do is I'll just like continue this like that after I get this welded. So yeah, so here we go. And honestly guys, there's probably more fancy ways of doing this, but for me, if the outcome is the same, I'm not going to spend like a buttload of time trying to make a piece that goes right here or remake all that, because that's all still good. But what I will do is just kind of bend it around, you know, just kind of bend it like that to kind of give me my angle here. Just like that. Find a marker that works. I think you're sliding here. Find a marker that works. So it's going to kind of go right there. Whoops. Ugh. 18 gauge is easy enough to cut with shears. See that? And just like that. And then once I get that welded in, I'll cut that. I don't want to cut it first. I kind of want the overlap. Let me just flatten this out because it's kind of kittywampus. And that's kind of how I want it. So kind of attach it like that. Actually, I'll just hold it and then we'll weld it in. I guess what I'm saying is that I'm not really a fine metal worker. Like I'm not, I mean, I have some equipment to do beads and the shrinker stretcher, but I just have enough to get by with what I do. I don't have a lot of fancy tools, but you know what? I guess I'm kind of here just showing you that you can do really cool stuff without having a bunch of expensive fancy tools. And there is a lot of people out there that can do really good stuff without fancy tools. And that is amazing to me. Yes, sir. So let's just weld this in and then we'll work it out. All right, let's fix this piece. So the welder, I changed the gas out. I have some wind running through here, so maybe that was it. But we got it all welded in and smoothed up, trimmed out. So that's good. So let's fix this right here. Let's cut that old piece out. Alrighty guys, so we've got quite a bit done on the repair of the floor over there, but let me show you this stuff. So come to find out that I made this quarter strength. So I did a gallon, which is actually 4 quarts or 4 liters. So 4 quarts, 4 liters, and I put in the baking soda or the washing soda and the citric acid to like if it was 1 quart or 1 liter. So I've been having this sit all week since last Friday. As you can see, it's pretty grimy in there. But let's take a look at these parts. Let me get my gloves. All right, guys. So so I got my gloves. So like I said, this has been sitting all week in this lovely stuff. So let's pull this stuff out and see how it looks. Oh yeah. Well, this was the really rusted up door handle thing on the outside. That's the inside one. Oh, yeah. Well, I will tell you, it definitely cleaned them. Sitting here all week. Yep. And then all the rest are the little bolts. So let me take all these out. So this stuff is non-toxic, obviously. But that's everything. So I would have to say that this does work. Everything is cleaned up. Yeah, look at that. Like brand new. So yeah. So what I'm probably going to do is actually make some that's the real strength. Actually, let me go take this and put it on the wire wheel, and we'll see how it looks afterwards. That and this. Be right back. So there it is. And there's that. Obviously, I think this was like chrome plated or something before, but still works. If I don't have to buy that, I'll be happy. Yeah, but I think the new door handles come with these guys. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, so I'm going to put all this stuff, I'm going to clean all this stuff up, and I don't know, put it in a bag and maybe just hold on to it. I mean, all these came out really good. Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll put these all in a bag, and we will call them driver side or passenger side door hardware. I don't know if the new door handles come with those pins, but I have a feeling they're pretty important. Alrighty. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up today. It's already 4:30ish. I really had a hard time with that welder. Right here, wind whips through here when it is windy, and it was blowing right up in there. I changed out the gas to a full tank because the other one had like 5 pounds left. Swapped that out, and I did swap out the wire. So instead of the 030, I did pick up some 023. It's a little bit better for this this thin sheet metal stuff. But yeah, so anywho, so that's going to be the day. We did get the back of the floors all finished up. You got a glimpse of that. I'm not going to show you guys more flooring. Then we got the inner fender well out, and then we fixed some repairs up through there, rust up through there, and then we coated it all with some stop rust. So tomorrow, after everything dries, we'll go through it and I'll show you all. But for now, it's just setting up, and that stuff has to sit up overnight. So yeah, we'll catch you in the AM. Good morning, guys. So this morning I took some time and decided to clean everything up. So last night, let's start off with, I think Mike is going to be coming over in about an hour or so. We want to put this in there so I can work on the radiator mount and then like the engine hump. But what did come in was this little thinned air cleaner. I got this off from eBay, actually. It was 48 bucks, low profile. So I like that. And it's wrinkle finish, so it matches the valve covers. So I needed to have some sort of air cleaner on it, so when I build the hump, it would I would have it right. So yesterday, more towards the evening, I decided to clean up the transmission, and I put a coat of the cast stuff, same as on here. I'll show you that in a minute. And then everything is dry up underneath the floor here. So what we'll do is I'll bring you around and I'll show you everything in there. I did get in, hold on a second. So I did get in, it was like 70 bucks off from Amazon. So it's this black, basically sound deadening. Well, this says sound deadening and thermal shield. I'm used to using like Matte 66, but they don't sell it anymore on Amazon. So that was kind of disappointing to find that out. But the Matte 66 ones are actually like just this big from here to here. So these are much bigger. It's still 80 mils, so it's pretty thick. And of course it's sticky, and I got a roller to roll it all on. But that's in a little bit. Just wanted to show you that some of the things that I got in. Let me switch you around. I'll show you the transmission that I cleaned up, painted it. It looks like brand new. And then we'll show you inside the cab. Okay, guys. So here it is. So what I do is, I think I've explained it before, but I'll do it one more time. But it's welding in the floors. Then I clean it all up with my little wire wheel, little bits and bobs to get all the loose rust off. And then I go over it with the rust trap. And then once that sets up, I do all the welded areas with panel bond. It's just something I've always done, so I still do it. And then all through here, so this no longer has a gap. This had a little bit of a gap in there, but I filled that all in. And then once that you can probably give about, I'd say about an hour and a half. And then you can go over it all again with rust trap is what I do. So the whole back, no more daylight back there, no more Bluetooth floor. And I did do up the wall up to the window there, like that. So let me show you on the other side. And then there's the other side. I got this all cleaned up, basically where the motor is going to go. I got that all cleaned up and also coated with the stuff. And then up in here, same thing. Fix those areas right there, over there, and then up above there, right there, and then coated. So I didn't do too much. I coated here, started coating up there, but I got to take all the suspension off anyway. So once I get the suspension off, then I can coat all up underneath there in between that. And then up front, you can see where I stopped here and right there, but it's all coated up to here. So once I pull this all off, then I can coat all that stuff. And then all the way down on the insides of the rails where the transmission would go. And then here's the transmission. And then with this, all I did was just stuck those little Harbor Freight bristle brushy things. This side's a lot better, meaning that you can see it better. The bristle stuff on the little drill deal, and I just wire wheeled and bristle brushed all that. And then with that one, with that, I used this stuff. Pretty awesome, actually. But yeah, same stuff that I used on this right here. Alrighty, so I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do here for the next hour before he gets here. I'll probably take the engine, well, not the engine, but remove all that stuff from the motor so we can put that in. If he doesn't come in today, I'm not sure. He said he was going to see what he could do about showing up, which usually means that he'll show up, which is awesome. He is definitely a worker bee, and I certainly appreciate it. He gets on me about this because he wants things that he wants to do with the motor and stuff, and he's like, well, get to it, get the floors done, get it all coated so we can get this thing in there. So, and ultimately I kind of need it in there so I can finish doing what I need to do. So we will be back in a little bit once I figure out what we're going to do. All right, guys, as you can see, we have a stain on the floor where the engine was. And now the engine is mounted in the bay. So, as you can tell, Mike did come over today. He got here around 9:30. It is almost 2:30. He left about a half hour ago. So the engine is in. We had to take the manifolds off, but it all went in with the transmission and motor all at once. Went right in there. I did get engine mounts for a V6 because with the mounts that we got, or that we had on there before, there was like a half-inch gap in the back of the mount where the where the bolt goes through. So if the bolt goes through this way, there was a half-inch gap between the engine mount and the mount on the frame. So I figured, oh, I'll just get V6 engine mounts. Well, those weren't the right ones. So we put the old mounts back on, and then as we tightened up the bolt, it actually closed the mount up where it was perfect, right? So it's all right there. It fits perfectly, right? So let me swing you around. We'll bring inside and I'll show you what we got. Here's the driver's side. So as you can see, it doesn't sit up too bad. Yeah, but it's all fitting in there, and you can get to manifolds and spark plugs with no problem right underneath here. When we put the manifolds back on, I just did them from here. They were perfect. And then back there's the transmission. And then we'll show you the passenger side. And there's the passenger side. So, well, let me show you the transmission in the back. And there it is. It sticks right out through. So I'm about a degree. I'm a degree down. So it'll be perfect. Once I get the drive shaft made, once I get full weight on this to know the drive shaft length, it should be perfect. But the only thing that I did, I wanted more clearance from the manifold to this little whippoorwill right here. So I just kind of like, just kind of gave it about, I gave it about another 1/4 inch clearance from here to here, just in case the motor does this kind of deal. But man, that air cleaner, low profile, it's going to be awesome. And then let me grab the radiator and I'll show you that. So here is the radiator. So this is off from a 55, 57 Chevy Nomad or whatever. But it'll fit. It'll work just like that with no problems. Right there. So what I have to do is make some mounts, obviously. That's off that, but you kind of get the idea up front here. I got to get upper and lower radiator hose. I'm still figuring out which one I'm going to use for that. But overall, boop, right there. And so I will be able to run the mechanical fan. Once I get this better in place, I'll show you that. But I have no problems running that mechanical fan. Okay. So I do have to go in a couple hours to go pick up my son from work. So I am not quite sure what I'm going to get done now. I'd like to, I know I can drop the firewall down to about here now, which is good. So I have that piece that actually goes right here. I'm thinking if I just shorten it down, I can bring it down, you know, lower. Because I really, probably about 2 inches of clearance right here. So if we put, so maybe we'll go with 4 inches of clearance right there, right? So I would say right here, right where this line is, right there. Actually, let me bring you in. So right now it's really just, now that the motor's in, it's about figuring out, I got to sit and look at it for a minute, right? To see how I want to do this. Because I was talking with Mike, and let me move this camera up a little bit, and it's going crazy on us here. And it's about to rain like a bee's knees here. So I was talking to Mike. I think I'm just going to go with manual brakes, not power brakes, so no brake booster or anything like that. That will really save me a lot of room up in here. Because I was looking at those 90-degree under dash units, and there's not a lot of room up in here, right? So I think if I just get a normal, I think I'm going to get a master cylinder for the 2004 S10 because it has brakes, discs, and drums, disc fronts, drums back. So it'll have the correct bore on the inside. And I think if I mount that up here, that'll solve all my braking issues with the power braking, you know, that big power booster. He runs manual brakes on his 442, and he's got disc in the front, drums in the back, and he loves it. He goes, it's a little harder to press down, but you know, it'll save you space, and it's definitely doable. He goes, make sure you get the brake master for the S10. So I'm going to do that. And second thing, steering. So I have enough room to put a power steering pump on this, but I don't want to. So I like how neat it is, just an alternator up front here. Let me move it down. So just the alternator right here. I think that's going to be perfect. I have to get a shorter belt, of course, but I think I'm going to go with one of those manual rack steering deal. They make a universal one. I was talking to him about that, and he goes, that would be awesome because I can actually tilt that steering column or the steering rack any way I want to put my steering knuckle wherever I want. So I want that more up, right? So looking at the I did it tilt short steering. So it's only about this long that comes out. So I can just come out and then down and then right into the steering rack. And that will also be manual, right? Why not? That's what I'm kind of thinking. So for here, I think 4 inches of clearance should be enough. Let me see what 2 looks like. Well, 1.5 inches anyway. So that may even be enough. So in the real world, what I would do is I would cut this out right here and then bring it down. Right, so this part right here touches here. And then put in a piece right here. So that's, and then that inside piece that I cut off, I would actually lop off the bottoms of it and run that. I think I have it. So I think it, yeah, this piece. No. Yeah, there it goes. So it goes like that. So run that basically like that. Right? So right there. So, I mean, obviously this thing's seen better days. Actually, we can take that off. But I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do. Because I've already got this piece. And it's already basically made. I just got to shorten it up to where I want it. I mean, this needs a patch on this side. So yeah, so it goes like that. So I think what we're going to do is basically bring it down. Just like that. You know? Because this whole thing stays the same right here because I haven't altered any of that. So if I were to put it in, let me put it in real quick. Well, sort of something like that. Right? That's how it would normally be in here. And it's just all the space. I don't need that space. So I think, yeah. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut that down and then get this sitting lower. This is the whole thought process, guys. I mean, you're kind of witnessing it here on my thinking. And then just take this piece and just bring it down. Cut it out like that. Take this whole piece and bring it down. Yep. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is kind of make a template here. Like I said, this isn't going to get too crazy now because I do have to go and pick up my son in about 1.5 hours, 2 hours. So let's make the template here like that and then go from there. So I think we want to come up. Yeah, so kind of like that. Yeah. Yep. Yepper. I think I'm going to cut it. This would be good for that solution. Here we go. There it is. Now you guys see what I'm kind of talking about right here, right? So now it brings it down lower, and with this, it's even across, just like that. So now we're so ultimately, this piece with this piece has to be able to unbolt to take off to get the motor in and out of the front. Because I know with this here, it won't be able to, because of the arm that has to come up. So I need this whole piece to be able to bolt and unbolt. So it'll be welded across here along the bottom, and then here I'll just have some rib nuts, and then I'll have like a little seal on the back to hold it in place. Kind of like what I'm thinking right now, but we'll see how that goes. But I have to add a 1/2 inch all the way around this outside perimeter for around here. Yeah. So this piece will unbolt this way, and then the back piece will unbolt and go that way. It's kind of my thinking. We'll see. And that's what I kind of had in mind. Looks a little crooked because of the camera, but right there. So I'm gonna trace this out, trim that down, weld it to this piece right here. I've got the 2 bolts here, and then I'm gonna have, you know, maybe like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. So now it brings it down. I can't believe I just went ahead and cut that. Usually I'm like, think about it for a week, and then stress over it. There it is. Just getting it done. Like, that's it. So let me trace that on the inside, and let's just trim it up. Okay guys, it's starting to rain, but I trimmed that out with this guy right here. This is just a Harbor Freight special, little trimmer guy, but it gets real close, meaning like if you just have to knock off a little bit and it's an angle, this is the one to use. So I'm just going to clean that up, maybe tack a few spots here, and then that's probably going to be it for today, because like I said, I do got to go get my kid, so let's do this. Well, I decided to full weld it. So I'm committed to this. I have to cut here and here. Actually, I'll probably just kind of bend it down. No, maybe I'll just cut it, but that's fully welded there through there. Not so bad as far as the heat goes. You know, I tacked it and then I just ran a bead, right? You saw. So yeah. And that's awesome. So that's going to give me way better clearance right through here. So probably what I'll do is I will cut this. Actually, it goes like that. I will cut that. So I'm only basically going to use about that, about here. I just got to measure from the bottom up and just take a little bit pieces out at a time. So I am gonna clean up, guys, and I think that's gonna be it for this weekend. Got a lot done. The rest of the floors are done. Motor is in, looking beautiful. And then I just decided to take an hour and a half and cut that out and move it down. I can't, honestly, I can't believe I just went for it, because generally, like I said, I just kind of sit there and I look and I think and I overthink a lot of things. That's kind of how I am. But now I'm just going for it. So anyway, thanks for sticking around and watching this, and I appreciate everyone coming out here every week and seeing what I'm up to. And remember, you don't need a lot of fancy stuff to build something really cool. All you pretty much need is one weekend at a time. Go out and build something cool, guys. Catch you later. Bye.